welcome to another episode of Sanford Says. This is Lisa Holder, Communications Officer, and I'm joined with me today with two great guests, two leaders in our community, two residents, Stephanie Pilk and John Didana. Today's topic on Sanford Says is called the hashtag Sanford Social Media Ambassador Program. And I just want to say, hi, Stephanie. Hi, John.
Hello.
Hello.
So we're here at City Hall, and we all three have masks on. So if we sound like we're underwater, I hope not, but you should still be hearing us clearly. But we are being safe here in the city of Sanford. So just to break some ice here between all three of us, we decided that we're going to just ask each other some questions about the best festival in Sanford, Florida. Do you prefer a sunrise or sunset over beautiful Lake Monroe? And your favorite city park. So, Stephanie, what's your best fest?
I absolutely love Sanford Porch Fest. It is my favorite, just being around the historic homes and, having, bands that you love perform on them. I think it's just so amazing. And the ladies who put it on, it was a grassroots effort. So it makes it even more fantastic. So.
Yeah. And I it's hard to pick one favorite, really. It is. So I must say I love the Porch Fest, too, because I love music. And so, sunrise.
Oh, sunrise or sunset. Sunset, always. I love it, and I'm never up early enough for the sunrise. So.
Great point. And then your favorite city park?
Favorite park relates to the sunset, so Veterans Memorial. That's the best place to watch the sunset. So that's my favorite. And it's just nice that we have, a memorial to our veterans in the city. So that's even
very nice.
Even better.
Very nice. Good answers. And John, what's your best festival in Sanford?
Well, I mean, Porch Fest is wonderful, and I do like the fact that it's neighbors. You know what I mean? It's right from our community. I personally also love Alive After 5. We have performed there a number of times. It's great to go down there. I love it when I forget that it's happening and I try to go downtown, and downtown is exploding with people,
Right.
So I absolutely love Alive After 5. For me, I got to say sunrise, and I know, but I'm up at like 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
So when I see the sun rising outside the windows, I know it's good.
Yeah.
And then sunset, I never get to see because I'm always at a computer typing till like midnight. So
Right.
sunrise for me.
Okay.
And then, I have to be personal favorites here. So Palucci Park, and a lot of people are going to go, where the heck is Palucci Park? And it's that little park that's on the corner of First and Sanford, and because we adopted it a few years ago as the Sanford Community Cleanup, and also Fort Mellon. We adopted both. So I have to say, just because of favoritism, pure favoritism, that those are my two favorite parks.
All right. Okay. And so for me, I my best festival, I like Pints and Paws.
Oh, yes.
I'm like a fanatic when it comes to my puppies and just my kitties too. But I think that's a great festival. Of course, I love Porch Fest as well. But that comes to mind first. And then I too, Stephanie, I'm up early, but I also like the sunsets over Lake Monroe. When you come out of City Hall, when the times have changed, especially this, when you're right on the water, the colors are just amazing. It's incredible. There's fuchsias and bright fluorescent like oranges, and you're like, how is that possible? But it's wonderful. And then one of my favorite parks is Paw Park. I love taking my dogs there and just being with them and having fun times with my family at the Paw Park. So great answers. We have a lot of different things happening here in the city, something for everyone. So thanks for answering that.
I should add, though, that I can see the sunrise every single morning thanks to Tom Abbott, because he takes a walk every morning and he'll post it in I Love Sanford. So
that's right.
I can see the sunrise, too.
That's right. And so
2 hours later.
The beauty of social media.
Yeah.
Yes. And so that is great that you met. Great segue, Stephanie.
Yep.
So Stephanie Pilk is the admin for the I Love Sanford Facebook page. And John Didana is one of the admins for Sanford 327. And this particular topic that we're going to be talking about today is called the Sanford Social Media Ambassador Program. And so these two folks have worked with us for this on a volunteer basis to get the good word out, or get the word out about the city of Sanford. And so the program was implemented about 3 years ago. And we decided to ask yourself, social media influencers on your page, to help spread the word about what's happening in the city of Sanford through social media, specifically Facebook. And so it's been working, I believe, fairly well. And so let's get from your perspective. Stephanie, we'll start with you, and then John. How would you define the program, and how has it helped you as a admin of a page? Because basically you're an influencer of a small community. These are online communities, and so within a bigger city. So
I think the definition is exactly in the name. So we're social media ambassadors for the city of Sanford. So anything big or even little, sometimes it's our job to make sure that the people in our groups know about it. And I think it's really nice that we have such a close connection with the city, so that when questions do come up, we can contact you, and you can get us an answer, whether you know it or you pass it along to another department here. So I think, that's really helped the community tremendously.
Yeah. And that's great. And, we'd like for them to be friends and followers on the city page. That's true. That's right. True. And that's great also. And you can certainly do that as well. You both have these are private group pages too. So that's something to mention also. We had to, of course, invite you. And the reason why we chose your group, and then also 327, is because of the size of your groups, and also your reach and your influences as individuals. And we have another person, Leon, who is actually the admin on the City of Sanford's Citizens Academy alumni Facebook page, another group page. And so he helps to share the information on that page. So there's 3 folks. And we're always looking for, by the way, additional people that are influencers on large Facebook group pages to help get the city's word out. So, John, want to share your experience?
Sure. Well, it's been great because I've been involved with Sanford 327 for a number of years, and boy, do we fight. And the fights are great because they bring up a lot of topics that are important. So when this started, it started addressing the topics even before they came up, or it was a quick way to respond to those things. And it's kind of a synergy that I don't see in a lot of other places. I'm on thousands of groups across the country because I have to be because of touring with Phantasmagoria. Right. And this really is one of the only ones that I see the city working with the groups. I run another group for a nearby city, which will remain nameless, Lake Mary. And I cannot tell you how many times I've tried to reach out and not gotten a response.
Interesting.
And so it's really amazing how the synergy back and forth between the citizenry of Sanford, the Facebook group, and the city of Sanford, and Seminole County too, I want to applaud them as well, has been back and forth. So it really is wide open communication,
Yeah, and I think too, this helps as well, not just in days of kind of like everyday business that we're doing and park openings, closings, and things like that, but like during COVID-19 now, and emergency situations, hurricane situations, we have that connection with you where we so desperately want to share the information, that much needed information from the source, with as many people as possible. And then when we could get through to your Facebook pages, it's pretty incredible. So it helps with the mission.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good example, though, of how this program works too, right? When we did close down the parks, there were lots of questions, if you remember, and we were talking, I think, all day long about that one post. And I think we walked away from that saying, the next time something this big happens, maybe just run it past the 3 of us, the 3 social media ambassadors, just so we can give you that initial feedback, so it kind of prevents those questions from the citizens, and it is a clear message. And
I don't think a lot of people realize that, Stephanie, that it goes in both directions.
Yeah.
There are so many times, so I'm going to reveal the deep secrets of the ambassador program here. There are so many times that actually the city or a worker will contact me and go, "Hey, I see a question on your wall. Can we help?" Which is just amazing. Yeah. And other times that somebody is asking a question on the wall and they probably have no idea that I've sent an email to somebody in Seminole County or in the city of Sanford, and that's where the response is actually coming from.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful avenue of communication.
Yeah, and that's true. And so we want to reiterate, there can be a lot of, and I don't want to say fake news, but rumors from other people saying they heard this, they heard that. And so this we hope quells that. And so it's information that's important to know. So you should know the facts. It has to do with your quality of life. It has to do with your water service. It has to do with roads. It has to do with, your playgrounds and more things like that. It has to do with your development in your city. And so we don't want you to be guessing, and we want you to understand the direct information and the details. And that's what this is about. So, please visit the City of Sanford Facebook page. Of course, go there because you can directly get that. But there's a lot more. It's called social media for a reason. Now, it's a lot more of a community on your pages. It's like your family on there, it seems like. And so, and we would love that too. But in terms of staffing and responding, it's a lot. It's much more easy. You have how many admins on 327?
We
John?
have 5 admins and 1 moderator.
Yeah.
On 327.
Yeah. So I mean, it's almost like a team of people. And so, and Stephanie, same with I think.
Yeah, there we have 3.
Yeah.
There's 3.
So it's quite a bit of people and information to manage, and so we just absolutely think that this has been very successful for the city. And just like you said earlier, if you have questions out there that you're seeing, so you're seeing people talk about city stuff. John, you've done that. Stephanie, you've actually contacted me in a way where it's almost instant. We have this Facebook Messenger going on too between the 3 of us, so it's almost instant. And then no matter what day and time it is, we can try and get that information to you so that it stops that questions or those rumors or whatever it may be. And so it just seems to be working really well. And we've been recognized for this Sanford Social Media Ambassador Program through just some other cities, and that Zen City program, they had not heard about it, and we talked about it on a national podcast. And it doesn't seem like such a unique concept, right? It's just the connection between the private sector and the public sector and making things work and communicating in just an easier fashion. And so without you, though, I have to say, it'd be much more difficult. And so you're volunteers, all of you. There's 3 of you, and we have to thank you very much so for doing that, because it's a lot of work.
Some days I think about asking for money.
It's a lot of work. And in this day and age, Stephanie, it's where we're meeting you where you're at. We're going to where the people are, and that's on social media and Facebook. So we just think it's really great. It's been like 3 years now. We've invited also the social media ambassadors to our State of the City luncheons and things like that through the chamber, where they'll sit at the city table and they'll hear the updates from the mayor. And then they'll know, so you guys will be knowledgeable, and because you are that ambassador, and you're that information highway link between us and your community. And so, this Sanford Social Media Ambassador, if you see the hashtag on your pages, that's what it's about now. I don't think we've never really discussed it publicly. We were kind of like doing it behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I think I made a post about it in I Love Stanford just because it can be overwhelming, the amount of information. So I wanted to explain, listen, I'm doing this for your benefit. I'm not just like spamming the group with this
when
stuff.
it first started, we made announcements.
Yeah.
But it's good to keep reminding people.
Yeah.
That's why the hashtag exists.
Yeah.
You can actually click on that hashtag and see all the city's posts.
And that was your idea.
And that was part of the reason I did the hashtag for that too. I'm not spamming you. Like, the city wants you to know this.
Yeah.
It's important enough that they've asked us to share it. So take a look.
And I know, Stephanie, you had just recently had someone say, why are you putting some stuff on your page? Why are you sharing all this city stuff, right? And
no, that was me, I think.
Oh, that was you, John?
Yeah, I'm over at Sanford 227, the one where they do that. So one of our wonderful citizens, and if he hears this, he will laugh hysterically, was like, John, why are you posting this here? Just tell people to go there. That's not what social media is. The fact is nobody wakes up in the morning and goes, gee, I should go to the City of Sanford page.
Yeah.
But, however, in newsfeed, they see 1,000 posts go by a day in Sanford 327. So it's not about sending people elsewhere; it's bringing it to them.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, exactly. Meeting the people where they are, and so that's wonderful. And if a follower wants to go check out our Facebook page, they can certainly do, and you will find information. There's some posts that are not always shared. We have a different process in how many posts we share a day and all of that. So if you wanted to come to our page, you can certainly see some things that may not be on the page yet, but they're all there. They're all basically there. And so I'm thrilled to be part of this program, and I think that for the communications of the city, it's just an extra special touch. And I think we've individually developed good working relationships, and that helps because when we have present you with a platform like Zen City, we already know the city, you know us, you've developed a relationship. So when we bring you with an idea, it's not like, who are you? Like, what are you saying? Do I want to, really believe what you're saying? And so we're building that, again, building the relationships with the community and through your influence on your pages. So is there anything else that we should say?
Well, I'm going to ask you a question, and if it's too much, if it's putting you in a trap, you tell me.
Okay, I'll hide under the table.
Why don't other cities do this kind of an amazing program? I mean, it's a no-brainer, kind of like as you said earlier, and I'm confused why they don't enjoy the outreach to the community.
Well, I'm not sure. I can't speak for other cities, but I do know that I saw the concept a while ago through Orange County. They did something similar to this when I think the then mayor, Teresa Jacobs, was up for re-election, and they did like a campaign with ambassadors in the community, a social media campaign. And so I saw that and I was like, that's great. Let's kind of, morph it into something that would fit with Sanford. But ever since, I have not, I don't know, I've not seen other cities do that. I do know that communications in general, most municipalities are developing social media platforms and using that to communicate. So I think that that's the beginning stages now. And as it gets more robust, and they have staff and team members to help with that, they may explore this type of thing. But it's definitely something that I have spoken about at the Florida League of Cities Municipal Communications Association, and I've spoken about it on several podcasts that are outside of the city about what we do here at Sanford. So we're promoting our own programs, and if people choose to follow, there's no additional funding available, or not available, but that's needed. It's just a matter of that relationship with your community. And maybe not, and if you think about it, John, maybe not other cities have these big, group pages, like 327, but I think it is kind of normal.
Yeah, I think it's a very normal thing.
Yeah.
It is. I think Sanford is, I don't think people realize there's 24 different groups in Sanford, from the, ridiculous to the sublime. We have all these different groups. And other cities, Eustis has about 6, So we do have a superfluous of groups.
Yes.
And some areas, like all of Orange County, New York, has 1, that kind of a thing. So some areas don't have the majority of it, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah, and I encourage, Stephanie, both of you and your followers to just ask the people that, just encourage them, I should say, to stay in touch with what's going on in their government. You don't have to be interested, great, but local government, like we always say, is closest to the people. And so, it's your water, it's your garbage, recycling things, and your parks and playgrounds. And so your quality of life is your local government. And so if you don't have to come to public meetings and all of that, but we encourage you to read the posts and just stay connected, because a more educated populace is it's better for all of us. And so, we sent out the information, we're in the, right now in the throes of the 2020 census, right?
Yeah.
And so, think about that. Sanford residents need to respond, and it's better for all of us for the next 10 years. And so with your influence in getting out to your communities, the fact that Sanford needs to get that response rate up, that kind of stuff is wow, I'll send this to John and Stephanie, get it on your page, get the word out that we need to increase our response rate. So, and I think that has happened. And so some of it's meaningful information that if you're not a government, follower, that just more comfortable interaction on your pages is helpful too, and I think that's also part of it, being more free to say stuff that you may not say on a city
government page. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Although we do have some of these posts that literally it makes me chuckle. But I mean, someone should write a book on, like, how they used to have like a little tiny book of jokes, like what was that book called?
I know the kind
1,000 jokes
yes.
or something. But you just publish like social media comments, because they are entertaining.
1,000 worth social media
yes.
comments over
Oh my
year.
gosh, that's an idea.
Yes.
It's entertaining. I will not say a lot of these people are talented. I have to tell you, in their creativity, the way they respond, and it's just it's definitely it's interesting. So. But Stephanie, anything else that you want to say? I mean, I enjoy working with you, and I appreciate you volunteering. Really.
Yeah. No.
Is your page growing? You're getting more followers. I mean, what's your page? You can plug it here.
I don't know. I Love Stanford. I think we're about 3,500 now. We kind of like it small. Mm-hmm. We don't want to be like Sanford 327. No offense, but
no, it's unwieldy sometimes.
It's funny though. Yeah. Sometimes we have post approvals on, because some of the crap that people try to put through is. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what group did you think that was going into? Yeah,
you guys could probably tell some good stories.
We'll make jokes in our admin group. Someone will send a screenshot and be like, "This belongs in 327."
Oh God. Yeah, well, we've got. I mean, it's almost 18,000 in Sanford 327. So you get people who fight. Not everybody in a community has to get along.
Right.
And sometimes when fighting happens, it's actually a good thing. You know what I mean? And things get aired out, et cetera, et cetera. Or you find out what the helicopter is doing. Well, one of the two. So.
And you know what? Speaking of airing things out and arguing, we've got some really serious issues these days, and so it's something that. Yep. That's a whole nother ball game about a moderator and what you need to do.
It actually makes you stop and pause, like, am I going to let this go through? Mm-hmm. Do I want to share this? Because, moderating those conversations is exhausting. Mm-hmm. And so I think John does this as well. His group does this as well. Just turn off the comments if it's going to be that kind of day where, this is going to spark some conversation. And frankly, I work full time, so do the other admins, and frankly, we don't have the time some days to even...
We've had to do it. We've had to, recently in the last month, we recognized that there are a number of red button issues that we can't even let the conversation start. Right. But the information is important to get out there. So we will post it and then shut off comments just so people can at least read the article or the resource that's being shared. Other times, I mean, it can go on for, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of posts. Yeah. And if you're not writing it, and living it, it's, so you've got to do that. It's scary sometimes.
Yeah. So, but bottom line is you both find it helpful to share the information. Well, what we're putting out, the type of content that the city's putting out is helpful content. Yeah. I mean, because we can always edit whatever.
If I can throw out that my favorite one was Edric saving the bunny. that just warmed my heart.
The marsh rabbit, right?
Yes.
That photograph was just like, I mean, it could have been like the photo of the year here with his park uniform on, and he's holding this like 2-inch rabbit.
Yeah, so keep those up. I love Parks and Rec. So
I know.
Those are fun.
It's true. Depending upon what the department is how we get reactions. Parks and Rec, everybody loves Parks and Rec, but we're trying. Yeah. Like, okay, for instance, the city budget is now being formulated, folks. This is your tax dollars. And so, we don't know how to make that topic sexy. I can tell you that. But, it's important.
Some people are interested.
Yeah. So but we will send, like we sent the link to the proposed budget to both of your pages, and there is a public input part of that, and we'll send that information out. And so we just, every little step of the way on what we do here, we'd love to get the citizens informed. So this is just a great way to do that. And so, it just happened, and we love it, and we continue to do that. And I want to thank you both very much for being part of that program, the Sanford Social Media Ambassador Program. And like Leon
Oh my God! Don't ask me to pronounce his last name. I adore him, but it's a hard name.
Leon K.
Leon
Yes,
K.
Leon K.
Leon K.
I got it right once.
Leon K is there's this. If you're a Citizens Academy graduate, go to their page. It's an alumni page. Ask to join that page, and there's 3 people. But I can say this, folks out there that are listening: if you're in Sanford and you're part of a social media group page, and you have a large following, just let me know. Contact me at lisa.holder@sanfordfl.gov, and we'd love to have you join this program. So it's not just limited to these 2 pages. The more people that we can get out, and we also want to reach the like 18 to 24 age range generation. I would say the generation before the millennials. I don't know if they have a
I think
label.
it's Generation Z.
Gen Z.
Yeah,
Gen Z, yeah. I have a 21-year-old. Yes, Gen Z. And so if you're a Gen Z and you want to get involved in local government, reach out to me, please. My number's 407-688-5019. I'd really love to hear from you, because this would be amazing that you're listening to the podcast and saying, yeah, I want to share city information with my audience, with that demographic, because we want to reach everyone, all age range, races, whatever it may be. So, okay, well, thanks.
Hello.
Last words, anybody? No. Okay.
No.
Thank you.
No.
Just
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. All right, and so I'd like to plug John Dodonna. You did mention Phantasmagoria. Yes.
Phantasmagoria.
So you are. We have to mention that. Right?
We are performing every week for free online right now because COVID, the plague, exists. Yes. So you can find us all over social media with that, doing our performances. And face it, this is something that we're going to deal with for a long time.
Right.
So we're moving our entire fall online.
Okay.
Everything we do.
All right. And John, you're the executive producer, right?
Yeah,
you are
I'm the producer and director of it.
Director
Yes.
of Phantasmagoria. Yes. And Stephanie.
Well, I work for United Healthcare, so I'm not going to promote that. But,
Well, you might have to.
yes. I also have I Love Stanford on Instagram, so that has a lot of different content than what the group has. So it's also on Facebook. So I Love Stanford on Facebook and Instagram. So
Wonderful.
if anyone's interested to follow along with
Yes.
the way I view I Love Stanford.
Exactly. You do some great work too, and you put stuff on your page, and from your perspective, you just share some great imagery of Sanford, and you have, it's very nice. I like it. I like it a lot. And so, and John, thanks for all you do. Appreciate it. And
John's a real winner in the social media.
God.
Don't envy him at all.
So be careful how you use the word winner in that, okay? Yes. Somehow it loops back around to loser on the other side.
Well, so there you have it, folks. We talked about today the Sanford Social Media Ambassador Program. Check it out. Look for #Sanford Social Media. This is Lisa Holder, your communications officer for the city of Sanford. It's been a pleasure. And you can find this podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. Literally, I really believe it's on like every access. We have a great platform that shares the podcast. And we'll be back in touch with our next episode coming soon. Thanks again for listening, and stay safe out there. We're wearing our masks today. That's why we sound
socially distanced.
And socially distanced, and we're wearing our masks. So be safe out there. Thanks a lot for listening. Have a good day.